If you drive an EV, the autumn budget just changed the rules for you, from how much you pay per mile to which cars count as luxury. But in this video, I'll tell you the main points that matter. Hi, I'm Ollie, and this is the Tesla Unlocked YouTube channel. And today I'll be running through what you need to know about these new EV changes in the UK. So the autumn budget was released yesterday, and lots of you are going to be hearing this 3 pence per mile, 1.5 pence per mile being thrown around. And I just basically wanted to make this very quick video just to break it all down and explain to you the key points that you need to know. To start off with, we've got the 3 pence per mile. So basically, it's proposed that from 2028 onwards, all fully electric vehicles will now have to pay 3 pence per mile for wherever they're driving. To me, this seems completely backwards because, you know, the government are meant to be encouraging us to get EVs and get more EVs on the road, so this does just seem very backwards. But at least they're not introducing it this April coming now, so April 26. It's going to be April 2028, so at least there's some delay on it, and it's not going to be instant. I think that's what a lot of us were getting worried about, but this is potentially going to come in 2028, so I guess it's important that we know about this now, so that if you're thinking about getting an EV now, then bear in mind that potentially from 2028 onwards, you're now going to have this additional cost, which is going to be a real pain, but it's just something that has been decided. And the other thing as well is that for plug-in hybrid vehicles, it's going to be 1.5 pence per mile as well. So that's going to be slightly lower, but it's still an annoying additional cost. I've no idea how they're going to monitor this. I imagine there'll be some AI camera system. There's already loads of cameras on the roads, or it could be the same as, you know, when you go for an MOT and they log down the mileage, it's all stored in like a digital database type of thing. So it could be that, or it could be self-initiated or whatever, like you log it down on the system. Nobody really knows. We only know how much they're going to charge per mile. So practically, how this is going to work, nobody really knows, but the facts and the basic part of it is that we know that fully electric vehicles are now going to be 3 pence per mile, and plug-in hybrids are going to be 1.5 pence per mile from 2028 onwards. This basically means that, say you drive around 10,000 miles per year and you're fully electric, that's going to be an additional cost of around £300 per year, which is quite a lot, to be honest. If you're lucky to have very good insurance, where your insurance is low, so it's maybe £300-400 per year for your EV, you're basically doubling the cost of that. So it's basically like paying your insurance twice, which is just crazy. And then the same thing if you have a plug-in hybrid and you'll be paying 1.5 pence per mile, that's an additional 150 quid per year as well. So, you know, the average person is typically doing around 10,000 miles per year. So that's potentially 200 to 300 quid per year additionally that you're now going to be spending, which is just such a pain. Obviously it's to get more cash into the system. That, you know, makes complete sense, but it is just really frustrating for people who have bought EVs because they were incentivized to, and now the government are kind of changing things and going back on that. So it is a frustrating situation, but unfortunately these are the new rules that are being set out from 2028 onwards. And to be honest, I think it would be quite unlikely that they do bring this in. Obviously it's proposed for 2028, so it's not 100% finalized. They could do it, they may not do it, we don't really know, but this is kind of a potential warning of it could happen and that it is proposed. So at least we're relatively aware that it could be happening. Obviously for some people they're going to be doing significantly more miles. So say you're doing 20,000 miles a year, you know, that's £600. So it's such a significant, you know, step up. If you're somebody who drives a lot for work or whatever it is, like, that's another huge additional cost on that again. But for most people, if they're doing around 10,000 a year, 10 to 15,000, you're looking at around 300, 400, 500 quid, let's say. And now moving on to the good news away from the bad news. So as of now, with this new autumn budget, there have been some changes in terms of road tax for EVs. So a couple of months ago, it was proposed that from April 2025, for that first year, all EVs were going to pay £10, I think it was, for the first year, which isn't too bad for road tax. Up until now, it's been completely free, but now they're introducing for the first year that it's £10 for EVs. And then they also said that from April 2026 onwards, all EVs would then jump up to the £195 per year for road tax, which is kind of the standard base rate for most vehicles that are on the road. But what they did introduce was this luxury EV car tax type of thing, which was spoken about months ago. And essentially what it was if your EV with the list price was over £40,000, you'd then be hit with this luxury EV tax type of thing, where they would basically slam on another 400 odd quid onto your road tax, more than the 195. So basically, a couple of months ago, what they were saying was that from April 2026 onwards, if you had an EV, you'd pay £195 per year for road tax. But then if that EV was priced at over £40,000, then you would also have to pay that additional amount. So essentially, you would have been paying 620 quid per year. But now, with the autumn budget that came out yesterday, what they've done is they've changed this because of inflation and things like that, so that amount is now 50,000, which is great news, because before, when they were saying it was 40,000, that basically meant that loads of EVs were essentially written off, and not very many really decent EVs came under that £40,000 mark. So with Tesla, for example, the only car that you could get that was under £40,000 was the very, very base Model 3 with nothing on it, no additional paint options, no wheel changes, no interior change to white, things like that. It was the very, very basic Model 3 that was the only Tesla that came under that £40,000 mark. But now that they've changed this rule, it means that you can now get an EV up to £50,000, and anything over the £50,000 mark is now classed as a luxury EV. This kicks in from April 2026 onwards, so there's still a little bit of time, but this is really good news. Say you're a family and you really want to get a Model Y, but you were a bit hesitant because of this £40,000 luxury EV car tax thing. Now that's changed to 50k. So this brings in a lot of the kind of intermediate level Model 3s, which is still under 50k, and also some of the new Model Ys as well. So this is really good news. Say you're a family and you need a Model Y, you need a bigger car. Before yesterday, if you were planning on getting a Model Y, it would have fallen over that £40,000 mark. So from next April onwards, you would have had to have paid that luxury EV car tax. But now that the minimum has gone up to 50k, now that brings quite a few of the Model Y variants under that 50k mark. So now lots of the Model Ys don't qualify for that luxury EV car tax. And it's the same with the Model 3s as well. You can get the long range rear wheel drive, which is, in my opinion, the best out of the Model 3 lineup, just because it has the most range. You can upgrade color, you can upgrade wheels and interior, and as long as it's under that 50k mark, you won't have to pay this luxury EV car tax that has been at the back of everyone's minds for kicking in next year. So that's great news. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's been a very quick one just to explain the new rules that came into play from yesterday. If you've got any thoughts or your opinions, then do drop them down in the comments. But otherwise, if you have enjoyed the video, then do give it a like, and also subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with videos similar to this, reviews of Teslas, reviews of accessories and things like that. And also don't forget to visit the Tesla Unlocked website, which you can find in the bio of the channel. And on that website, you'll find some of the top Tesla accessories and products which I personally recommend, which I've put on there for you guys. And there is also some exclusive discount for you as well, which you'll find on the Tesla Unlocked website. So thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.